Thursday. Let's get real about relationships Thursdays, the daily go getimism show all up in your area. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omar with the and this is the daily go getimism show. Y'all know how we do. Okay. All right. So tonight on this Throwback Thursday, let's get real about relationships Thursday. We are talking about he or she uses their condition as an excuse. He or she uses their condition as an excuse. So tonight we're talking about when somebody may have a disability, or they may have an illness, or they may be going through a setback, or whatever it is that they're using. They're pretty much able-bodied, or they can contribute or do more than they're letting on that they can do. But they're using their whatever's going on with them as an excuse to lay around, not do anything, be waited on, hand and foot or whatever. Oh, Century, you're not going to make it tonight. You getting out of here with the quickness. Really, you're not going to make it tonight. Like, I let you play around the other nights, but you're not going to make it tonight. Honestly, you fuck around and you won't make it back again. You'll have to change your profile or whatever, you know what I mean? So fuck you. Damn, you're not supposed to curse in the first 2 minutes of a live. You a fake? You say I'm a fake? A fake what? Like when people call you a fake, like what am I a fake? What? Who am I trying to be besides myself? So what makes me fake? You know what I mean? Matter of fact, why don't you define what real is? Be constructive. What is real? Because you can easily call somebody fake, but what is real? Because that would probably be hard for somebody like you to define. What up? What up, T. Carey? Right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Cheryl Halsey, what's good? How you feeling tonight? How you feeling tonight? Let me see what this bitch has. Let me see. Okay. Oh, okay. So this dude is somebody who is a regular on this channel, and he made this channel this is like a fake page. Okay, I get it. Because he just started it September 25th of this year. So this is somebody who frequents the show, and it might have been somebody that we deleted from the channel or something like that, and they came back with this fake ass profile. Now I get it. Well, everybody has to have motivation. So you call me fake, but you use a fake profile. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. What up, my man Jay Sloan is in the house. What's good? How you feeling, my dude? How you feeling? All right, so like I was saying, so somebody might be going through, see, this is bigger than having a handicap or a disability or an illness or whatever. Somebody might use the fact that they're not working right now, or they're going through a depression. Not that these aren't serious things that can happen to a person. Not that these aren't things that can really, really sideline somebody for a while. But the thing is, some people will take advantage of a situation once they realize that people will cater to whatever it is that they're going through. It's not fair. It's not a good thing to do. It's not something that somebody or anybody with integrity would do. But this is what people this is what some people may do. And if you've ever been through something like this, you probably really, really resent having to go through it because it ain't cool. It ain't cool. What up, Crash? What's good? How you feeling, my dude? How you feeling? Jay Sloan says, making a new profile to troll this channel in the middle of the night. Hey, man, you know, there's no accounting for not having nothing better to do. There is no accounting for not having anything better to do. So you up at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you came through just to burn a little something. Yeah, I mean, troll a little something. That's diabolical work. That's crazy work right there. But people will make time for whatever is important to them. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I'm glad you're doing good, Crash. That's what's up. Very good. Very good. I'm glad to hear that. But yeah. So tonight we are talking about when they are using their condition as an excuse. So it can be that they're using their condition as an excuse not to work. They're using their excuse as their condition as an excuse not to help. They're using their condition as an excuse not to contribute. They're using their condition as an excuse not to go to school, not to be motivated to do anything, not to try to get back to the place where they were before. You know, and once again, that's not to say that people don't go through times in their lives where they may feel stagnant or they may feel like they really can't make the moves that they used to, or they really can't be as sharp as they once were. I get all of that. But we're talking about when you know that somebody can do better. We're not just talking about the visual test. We don't know that they can do better just because you've seen them do better. You know that they can do better because you may have knowledge of their condition and you may know how they are as a person. So knowing how somebody is as a person will let you know if there's a likelihood that they might be pump faking or not. And if you've ever been in love with somebody who is, how can I say, full of shit. Yes, ma, you are full of shit. You are my baby, but you are full of shit. And you are using your condition. You are using your situation as a crutch, as an excuse. You're using that as the reason that you can't help a little bit more, do a little bit more, contribute a little bit more, get up off your ass, get on your feet better. Like I said, if you've ever been through something like this, then you understand what I'm talking about. Because some people will ride it out. Some people will ride out a condition like, oh, so they really think I'm helpless, or they really think I'm down and out, or they really think that they should do everything and I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do nothing. Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to show y'all nothing like you never saw before. We're about to max out on nothing. I'm going to decorate my nothing like a Christmas tree. Yeah, we're going to have a Charlie Brown Christmas tree of nothing. I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you. I'm about to. He or she is using their condition as an excuse, as a crutch. So because, all right, let me put y'all on with some of what I was thinking about when I thought about this show. All right. So, by the way, let me let y'all know right now. This show is only going to be about an hour. We got to cut it short tonight because I got a funeral to go to in the morning, and I gotta travel up to New York, and I may have some preliminary things to do before the viewing and all of that, and I don't know how long I'm going to be up there, whatever. But fighting through that traffic to get up to NY. I gotta go all the way up in Queens. I got I gotta go up in Jamaica. The funeral is in Jamaica. The cemetery is in St. Albans. So, you know. But speaking of funerals, now this isn't real. This isn't my real life, but it could be. So I'm going to use this as an example. So when somebody passes away in your life, and that's somebody that you were close to, or somebody that was special to you, you may go through a mourning period that may be more intense and more serious than other people have gone through. So you may be sad, or sometimes people handle death. Let me just put it this way. Sometimes it seems like when a person dies, somebody else dies with them, even though they're still alive. Now, you want to be sympathetic to somebody who is going through that because, we don't all handle a loss of life the same way. But we all have to remember that after a while, we all have to resume back to living how we were living. We just have to do it in the absence of the person that we were living with, or the person that was in our life, in our world before. So, giving a person a time to mourn, a time to grieve, that's fine. But when it gets to the point where a person has decided that they're basically going to die on earth while they're still alive, and they're going to let you do all the work for them, or maybe it doesn't involve you at all, but because you're concerned about this person, you don't want to see them deteriorate and let themselves go, and maybe even backslide into some negative behavior that they might have been a part of before. How many of y'all know somebody who was on drugs before, and then maybe their mom died, or their spouse died, or God forbid your kids die, but sometimes that happens, and they use that as the reason that they started getting high again. Now, like I said, you want to be sensitive. You want to be not sensitive, but you don't want to be desensitized to the grief that they may be experiencing. So you want to be understanding. But how are you going to understand that now they're on drugs again? How is that making anything better? So you suffered a loss of life. We have to find a way to adjust through that. But now you're getting high again. And you ain't just get high once, twice, or whatever. Now you back to getting high on a regular basis. And now it's all because your mom passed, or your dad passed, or you lost your best friend, or your brother, your sister, your favorite cousin, whoever, your dog. So, okay, I get it. All right, so that person dying sent you on a downward spiral. But now you getting high again. Now you're a fiend again. Now you're an addict again. Now you need to get back in NA. Now you need to go back to AA. Now we need an intervention for your ass. So now we're dealing with the loss of the life as well. But now we got to deal with you. Killing off everybody's spirit with this excessive drug use that you're a part of. And now you're using the death of a loved one as an excuse to keep getting high. Who doesn't have a story like that? Because I got a few of them. Not only that, when it comes to somebody starting to get high again, or somebody starting to use drugs again, or somebody starting to drink heavily again, it's not always about a loss of life. Well, I'm going through a whole lot of, I'm going through it. Yeah, I lost my job. My wife, she giving me grief. We about to get divorced. My kids, they in trouble. They ain't acting right. This mess is making me drink. Now, if you've ever been to rehab, you know that they don't accept those excuses for you starting to get high again. Like all that shit is out the window because you have to be held, you have to be accountable. You have to be held accountable. You have to be responsible for your own actions. When you start getting high, it's only you getting high, but it affects all of the people who are around you who care about you. And even some people who don't. Even some people who don't. But you're using these life events that have happened to you as an excuse for you falling off. You out here tweaking. Tweak, tweak, tweak. What y'all think about that? What you know about that? What you know about that? What you know about that? I know all about that. Niggas getting high and they really trying to try drugs. I don't know why they back on the block with the thugs. You don't know about what you know about. What you know about. What you know about ugly ass girl, but she used to be a world, now she got a straight rap haircut, used to have curls. What you know about. What you know about. What you know about. What you know about. My man Oakland. What's good, my dude? Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. I appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about tonight. Using their condition as an excuse. Using their condition as an excuse. You need to get your shit together. Anybody out here? I'm about to make some men a little mad at me. I might make some men a little mad at me. Any of y'all know anybody of y'all know some deadbeat dads out there, some men that just refuse to contribute financially to their kids' well-being? In other words, they don't pay no child support. Do any of y'all know any men who refuse to pay child support for whatever reason? Well, let's say their reason is they don't make enough money at their job to pay any child support. So, they want to pay, but they don't pay because they really don't make enough. After revolving accounts are paid and rent and whatever, they don't have enough money to pay child support. So they'll give their child whatever they can when they get it, but in the time being, Puffy, hold me down, baby. Not paying child support. Too depressed to pay child support. Twisted your ankle in a pickup game of basketball, can't pay child support. Now, I'm not an advocate for court-ordered child support, but I am an advocate for children being taken care of financially. I'm all about that life. Oakland says, knew a friend in middle school who fractured his finger, and it was one of those like cast thingies. I could put that I could put on and off. Just kept it on for the whole year with his finger. Wasn't even when his finger wasn't even broken anymore. Shit like that. Shit like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. So it's like, so he rode out the whole, I had an accident. I'm in pain. Look, my arthritis is acting up again. My Arthur, he does as he pleases. All of his life is master's toys. Deep in his heart, he's just a boy. Living his life one day at a time. He's showing himself a really good time. All right. Shout out to Christopher Cross. Rest in peace, Dudley Moore. He was a great actor. I love Dudley Moore. He was a good actor. Arthur was a great movie. Great movie. Funny movie. It was a cinematic masterpiece. No, I say it was. I say it was. But yeah. People use, you know, broken bones. Now, I ain't gonna front. Broken bones can sideline people for a minute. But see, the thing is, the problem really comes is when people have these conditions, whether it's an emotional or mental condition or a physical condition, you know, they have these conditions that might stop them from doing certain things. Some things that they enjoy, some things that they may not enjoy. But a lot of times they will use those things to circumvent their responsibilities. Like, these are the things I'm supposed to do. These things that I'm responsible for, but I'm gonna go around all that. I'm gonna go around all that because I don't want to be a part of all that. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, they might play it that way. So what do you do? What do you do when it's a situation where you know that they can do more than what they have been putting out? They can do this much, but they've been putting out this much. Is it self-preservation? Is that what we're going to call it tonight? Is that what we might call it tonight? Self-preservation. Long as there's some people around here that can do it, why I gotta do it? How about because that's your job or that's your contribution or everybody been taking care of you? Anybody know somebody that went to jail, whether they in jail or they home now, but they use being locked up or going to jail as they excuse for everything? Y'all got any jailbird relatives, spouses, whatever? One thing you will find out about some people who have gone to jail is that they will use the excuse about being locked up for almost anything and damn near everything. Well, you know, I would have did this and I would have did that, but I was locked up and I can, you know, I get that. I was locked up and I was on probation. I was on parole, and that's why I couldn't. Yeah, 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 yeah. Them jailbirds, baby. Them jailbirds, they make a lot of excuses. You find the right one, take that back to the whole child support thing. Where, yeah, I would have took care of my baby full time or whatever, but I was locked up. But I was locked up. And I can't deny that, yeah, while you locked up, you definitely can't take care of your kids. I got you. I understand that. The problem is, being locked up is not a condition. But even if it was a condition, it's a situation and a condition that you could control. Ain't nobody tell you that there's no way I can't commit these crimes. You know what that, listen, if you go to jail multiple times, you have served multiple prison sentences, you would think that at some point it kicks in like, yo, this ain't really what's up. Now, if you spend a lot of your younger years in jail or whatever, all right, you might be able to come out of that in a certain kind of way. Man, you start getting into your 30s and your 40s, you ain't trying to be spending the rest of your life in jail. If you haven't learned your lesson by then, not only are you setting a bad example for the youth, but it's like you just wasting your life away. Now, there aren't a whole lot of situations where I'll say that you're wasting your life away. Jail is one of them. Because it's really hard to be productive in jail. Yeah, sure, you can go to the law library. You can also get a degree while you're in jail and all that kind of stuff. And that's great. As a matter of fact, round of applause. Round of applause for any and everybody who has used being incarcerated, their time of being incarcerated as a way to increase their education level. Round of applause for that. Matter of fact, do it again. Cheer for them. One more time, kids. So I get all of that. I do. But the reason why going to jail is such a waste of your life is because on the inside, it's so hard to really concentrate on positivity because you're not in there with a bunch of positive people. Yeah, you may find some people who may enlighten you somewhere along the way, maybe an old head that been locked up for 30, 40 years. But it's hard to really grow while you are locked up for years and years and years. It's not a situation you would think that anybody would want to really be a part of. Jay Sloan says, yeah, for every person who manages to be productive while locked up, there are 100 guys for whom it's just years wasted that they'll never get back. And that's a fact. You don't want to be like, yo, I missed my whole 20s because I was locked up. Come on, man. I've known people who say that. Got locked up for a body at age 18, 19. So let's say you caught you beat the first degree. Nah, let's say you got the first degree murder. So you thought you was going to spend the rest of your life in jail. And by the luck of the draw, 20, 30 years later, they commuted your sentence from life without parole to just life with the possibility of parole, and you make parole. You know what the world looks like if you've gone from it in 10 years? You leave for 1 year and you're going to see significant changes in whatever neighborhood you're from. I can guarantee you. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Are any of the people you used to run with even around anymore? That's one thing, man. You know, and let me know if I'm the only one who does this since it's Throwback Thursday. When you see old videos, you know, on social media, people like to be very nostalgic, and I get it. So they'll be, you know, showing videos of HBCU life back in the 90s, and they'll be talking about, look, no weave, no cosmetic surgery, even though there were definitely weaves in the 90s. And there was cosmetic surgery in the 90s. You might not have a BBL, but they was having breast implants. But, you know, we all want to remember the 80s fondly for some reason. Y'all know how it go. And, you know, so they'll be talking about, and you'll see like the cars in the background in the 80s and how much steel the cars had on them and how rectangular the cars were back in the 80s. They had rounded off everything in the 80s. And there was still American cars on the streets in the 80s. So it wasn't nothing to see a Pontiac. It wasn't nothing to see a Chrysler, Buick, definitely a Cadillac, a Dodge, this, that, and the third, Grand Am, Pontiac Grand Am, Oldsmobile, Cutlass. Rolling in the Cutlass, the 88. So, well, the question I was asking is, when you see these nostalgic videos from like the 80s and the 90s, do you ask yourself, I wonder how many people in this video or in these pictures are still alive today? Am I the only one who thinks that? Like, damn. Like you see the kids, in an 80s video. Let's say the video was from like, let's say 85. That's 40 years from now. What should I say? That was 40 years ago. And I'd be wondering, like, the adults in this video, are they still here? What are the chances that 40 years later, you still rocking? Jason Sloan says, Rip Van Winkle, bro. But I'll take him with the weave hanging down to their butts. Yeah. Kane said that, right? And that was definitely in the 80s. So, and Jason says, yo, I think about all that time. I mean, how can you not? When I watch, you know, when you see them old Soul Train videos, you know what I mean? With everybody head is going down in the Soul Train, on the old Soul Train, when Soul Train was in Chicago. I ain't talking about that California Soul Train. Everything loses juice when it goes to California. Like, don't go to LA, man. You know what I mean? If you got hot where you was, stay where you are. Motown Records. Anyway. Yeah. I be wondering, like, are any of them still here? Even the kids. Cause it ain't, let's say if you were 10 years old in 1985, that means you 50 now. I know a whole lot of people who didn't make it. And I know me and Jason know a lot of the same people. So we know a whole lot of people who didn't make it. So I'll be watching them videos like, I wonder. Jay says, sometimes I see videos, people, the videos people post that include people I knew who I know for a fact are gone. Yo, yeah. That's real as it gets. That's real as it gets right there. Yeah, I can't help looking at it that way. And then, you know, at some point, you got to count your blessings because you like, damn, but I am still here. I was there then, and I'm still here now. But the videos, like these videos that I'm doing will be in effect as long as YouTube is still here. If somebody watched these videos, I don't know, 50 years later, will I be here? 105 years old? What are the chances? See, sometimes I start bitching. I'll be like, all right, let's not say 50 years. Let's say 40 years. 95? Am I good for 95? I don't know. I don't have a family history that says, you know what I mean, that I'm built like that. Not that, not that I can't break the trend. But then I think like 30 years. 30 years, I'll be 85 years old. When I be thinking about that shit, I'll be like, yo, what the fuck? Hold on, you mean to tell me in 25 years I'll be 80 years old? 80? I'm like, 80 is old. What happens between them? In them 25 years, am I old all the way up until 80? Because, you start talking about your age and people start pushing the goalpost. They start moving the goalpost. Like, no, 65 ain't old. That ain't old, son. And I'm like, oh, 65 ain't old. Word.
You had a call from Cheryl.
Miss Halsey, how you doing tonight? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm getting hard. Anyway, I've been sitting here listening,
Mm-hmm.
And when you was talking about people, I was wondering, well, they're using DMX an awful lot, showing a bunch of old clippings, And I know his wife had, ex-wife, she had written a book. So I was trying to put it together. Is this to help to promote her book or what?
Now, who are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you talking about?
I'm speaking about DMX.
DMX, the rapper?
Yeah. DMX passed in 21.
Yeah, and he was 50.
But they're showing a lot of his clippings. Say, for instance, with the Breakfast Club, Drink Champs, all kinds of Fix My Life, Ayana, all that kind of stuff.
You watch all that kind of stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You watch Drink Champs?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, sometimes.
You a hip chick.
That'd be something to hold my interest. They'd just be for a minute,
Yeah.
Yeah. But that'd be something to hold my interest, But I was thinking about it, when you just said you see him showing old clippings, and that came to my mind because I've been trying to figure it out, and I'm like, well, what's going on? Because on all kind of channels and whatever, they are showing, with and by the way, he was so gifted. Rest in peace.
Yeah, he was dope. DMX was very dope.
His wife, Shakira, wrote a book, and I'm trying to put it together. And my daughter spent the night with me, my little girl, last night, and she was saying, well, maybe it's to help promote her book. And I was like, maybe so. But I was trying to figure that out. That's been on my mind, you know. And when you just said that, it just sparked me. You know, I'm like, okay. Because I get tired of typing.
I can dig it, yeah.
I just basically, I've always been the type to be observant. You know, I'll listen and I'll talk, but I just been observant. I'm just a person that's very observant.
Okay.
And I don't talk that much. But anyway, speaking of a number of things that you talked about, speaking on, the father's not supporting their children. I have a nephew that is like that right to this day, and he's still on drugs. God help him. But son. Oh, and hi everybody in the chat. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But I look at it and I think, well, you got to be strong enough to try to. He's been on drugs since he was 14. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And Alfonso is 44 now. Yeah. So I was just, I'm like, I know he's in jail when his mother passed, which is my sister.
Yeah.
But now see, he's starting to really slip, and I'm like, are you going to do this for the rest of your life? Well, all I can do is pray for him,
Yeah.
That's it. And like I said, he could have tried to take care of his son. But it was hard, He's back and forth in jail, in and out of jail. But over the past few years, I would say he's been home. He was locked up when his mother passed. That was in 2017. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I was just thinking about that,
Yeah.
And I was like, they show, you spoke about the movie Arthur. I love that movie.
You like that movie? I'll tell you, that was my movie. Yeah. That was my movie, boy.
I loved Arthur, And I was just, I would look at it quite a bit. Yeah. I was into buying tapes and so forth. And
the VHS tapes?
I never got that one.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, it's on the topic that your voice is coming back.
It's working its way. This little cold was nasty. It was. This was a nasty little joy. It was acting like it was going away every night, but every night it attacked. I was like, this thing crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but you sounded better. And I
Thank you.
To say that you got to go up to New York. Is this on your baby's grandmother?
Yeah.
Okay.
The service is in the morning.
Yeah. You take care, and God bless you. All of you. It's just a family.
Yeah.
That's still a part of. That's your baby. But that was her grandmother. So it's all in the blood. But anyway,
Well, I wanted to ask before you go. I want to ask you one question about and if this is out of bounds, just let me know. But like a lot of people have been abused when they were younger. Whether it was sexually or physically or whatever. People have been abused, and some people really, really. I hate to say it, but some people use that as a crutch to not do whatever they don't want to do. Some people use it. Some people use it as an excuse to keep using drugs.
Yeah.
Some people use it as an excuse to not really, to not take care of their kids. Some people use it as an excuse to be promiscuous and never really be faithful to anybody. Some people use it as an excuse to be violent or to be heartless. Or I've seen people use being abused when they were younger for all kinds of crazy shit. And I'm like, look, I don't want to be insensitive to what happened to you, because you can't really say how something affects one person versus another person. But come on, man. Come on.
No, but yeah, well, I know people like that, and I knew some, some are gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's no excuse for certain things now.
Yeah.
It's just not. And like you say, some things in your childhood and what have you. Let me see. How can I say this? Anyway, let's say with me, I still, and that to be a child of God, and I pray on it all the time, but sometimes stuff come in my head, and I just I be thinking there's something wrong with me. But I go back to my childhood and what have you. But I've never used it as an excuse, not to take care of my children, or do the things that was supposed to do. But I see, I always wanted, rather, we always wanted to give to our children better than what we had. So we didn't, as far as using excuses not to do right, no, I can't see it. But then I don't know everybody's circumstances,
That's true.
The people that I do know and did know, I was saying, that's just crazy, I had a girlfriend. Everybody was saying she was going to die from drinking to death,
Yeah.
Well, she didn't die from drinking. She died from, being beat on, from her husband and then her boyfriend,
Yeah.
Well, but she always had, in other words, let's say she would drink a lot and then do dumb things, but then turn around and try to use that as an excuse, for certain things that she would do. So I really had to disassociate myself with her. Yeah. But I don't think, I don't know everybody, but again, I don't know. Forgive me for repeating myself. I don't know everybody's circumstances, but no, I don't think that people should use it as an excuse. Because let's just say you go and you think about certain things like that, you don't get stuck, And so basically, you should just, well, at least I did, and I'm doing that. I'm doing better, because that's, let's just say all last year, the year before, that's where I was until I found your channel, and I look forward to your channel because, I get a chance to interact and talk with different people and what have you, and listen to their stories, and it's helped me a lot, a whole lot.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So it's truly good. Your show is 100.
I appreciate you.
And then some. Okay. But yeah. But no, with that question, I guess I don't know how to answer it.
Well, if you've seen it, you've seen it, and if you haven't, you haven't. But I was just wondering if you've known anybody who acted that way, because I've known people who have done that. They use any tragic situation, as an excuse to either do something worse or to get around doing something better. So I was just wondering if you would ever encountered anything like that. I had a conversation. I had a conversation with some people last night, and this is before I did the show last night. But I had a conversation, and we were talking about I said that I respect people from all, I respect people's religion, regardless of what religion they follow, as long as they religion, preaches love and righteousness or whatever. I said it's not for me to tell you who to worship and how to worship. You know what I'm saying? So we started talking and I guess this person is, I want to say that they're an atheist or whatever, but I don't think that they've committed to that. But they were saying, well, if it's a God, if there's a God, how come people suffer? How come babies are abused? How come we have wars? How come blah, 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 blah? And I was saying like,
right.
And I was saying like, you can't judge how God works through what you think it should work like, or how you think it should work. Like, you know what it was? They weren't saying that there wasn't a God. They were saying that life is all about suffering. And I was like, what do you mean life is all about suffering? You don't suffer your whole life. And they were arguing but they were arguing that you do. You suffer your whole life. And because you have to get through all of these things. You got to get up when you don't want to get up. You have to do things that you don't want to do. And I was like, nah, that's when you talk about suffering, you're talking about probably some type of pain, whether it's physical or emotional, something that you can physically feel. And even if it's a mental anguish or whatever, you're going to still feel it. And it's going to be very unpleasurable, like probably unbearable. I've never heard anybody suffering and they're still doing all right. If you're suffering, you're doing bad. So, it was a difference of opinion with me and him. But I was saying how you can't judge what goes on in this world by God's standards, because you don't know what exactly how he wants it to be. But evidently it's the way he wants it because he created it.
There you go.
I said, you're just his creation.
I agree with you so much on that,
Yeah.
When we talk about it, it's a trip. My oldest son, his wife is an atheist. And I'm like, the hell? Because, all my children, they were baptized, they're saved, and I'm like, I don't get in their business, but I said, I'm going to leave that one on you, but I know she got into it with my baby boy, and because of that, and it was really, really strange, and I was like, I was sitting there and I was looking, and I'm like, this is crazy. How do you all think that you're going to, I try not to judge, but I was saying, because it came out of her mouth, when you sit up and we're conversating and you say, well, I'm an atheist,
Yeah.
But yet still you all have children, and then my son is he has two girls and one boy. And the thing of it is, like I say, how are you teaching your children? Are you teaching the way we raised you? And again, then before you know it, I'm stepped off into their business, which I'm not trying to, but then I think about his little grandkids, how are you going to raise them, So, but he's very strong, Actually, my son reminds me about you, because he's big and tall, and he wears the bald head. Okay. He's been wearing the bald head for oh Lord, long time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I'll be looking at you and you be putting your high beams on. It cracks me up. I be sitting back here. I had lasted so many years. I honestly, until I start watching your show, Yeah. And my girls would be saying, "Yeah, we go to God, man, son, and what have you." And see, back in the days, this is how dumb I am. Do you realize I was actually thinking that the people that some of them that wore their hair, long, some of the guys, mostly, in some of the sitcoms. Oh Lord, it's a couple of them. I was saying, oh wow, yeah, he grew his hair nice and blah blah blah, Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I guess it was in me because I've always braided my boys' hair, and I've always taken care of my girls' hair. Mm-hmm. They have pretty good length of hair, Yeah. I have a daughter right to this day. She's never worn fake hair. She's never worn lashes. She's very pretty, but she just won't do it. Yeah. No, she won't do it at all. But like I said, she's and that she'll put a little makeup on, like lipstick or what have you, like I say. But I told her all the time, and I think if she did, she would look weird to me, But yeah, it's that would probably be out of place for her. You were talking about that. It just brought all that to my attention. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I was thinking in the 80s and the 90s, more or less, I was like, yeah, and then I'm saying, you're so dumb, I was busy chasing kids around the house, Anyway. But let me get off of here because I know more people are coming to chat, but I'm talking to them. All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, as usual. God bless you, and be safe, okay? You too. All right. Well, thank you. Okay. All right. Good night, everybody in the chat, too. Okay. Right. Love y'all. Peace. All righty. Bye-bye. My girl, Cheryl Halsey. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Appreciate y'all. I see Señorita Ramirez, Señorita Ramirez, Señorita Ramirez, Señorita Ramirez. What up, Señorita Ramirez and Christina? What's going on? How y'all feeling? Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. And Marvina Bigby. Y'all know what it is. Thanks. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Like, if y'all were here earlier, y'all have to know that we're not going to be on here very long. I got to go to this funeral later on this morning. So I got to get a couple of hours. I got to get a few winks. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be fall asleep on the road and nothing like that. I only got to go to New York. It's only a couple of hours, but sometimes that traffic be making it feel like it's a grueling ride. Like, oh God, I can't do it. These high-ass tolls in New York, this shit is crazy. I got paid all this money in New York. New York sucks. All right. But yeah, so we were talking about when they use their condition, he or she uses their condition as an excuse, as a crutch, as a reason to not do better, not get on their feet, not do what they supposed to do, not make no money, not contribute to nothing, not do better in their life, not improve their health, not improve their situation. Come on, man, we can do better. And we have to. We must do better. So before we dismiss this class, let me ask y'all, what was the most recent time that you have committed to memory where somebody was using an excuse, like whether they were using their personal condition, a personal situation that they were in as an excuse not to do something,
or whether they got hurt, or whether they were down and out a little bit. You know, you might be down, but you might not be out. I don't know. No. All right, let me give out the warning.
You have a call from.
Yo, my dude, you have to realize this is the end of the show. We only doing an hour tonight.
Before, let me just do this, bro, because I love you so much, man. And I understand tomorrow is going to be tumultuous. Let me just do this, and I'm pretty sure that the live stream feel the same way. So I just want to pray for you and pray for baby girl and pray for her mom and her grandmother. So I just want to do that for you, bro.
Well, I appreciate that. I do.
So let me just open up everybody's heart. Let me tell everybody about their heads. And I just want to say, Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for blessing us with another day and blessing everybody else in the live stream with another day, and also blessing my brother with another day. I ask that you lay hands on him and bless him as he takes a pilgrimage down to New York for the homegoing service of his daughter's grandmother, or as I could say, family, which is also his grandmother and the mother of his child grandmother. I ask that you lay hands on the whole family, also a husband, and let them know that although the shell is gone, the spirit lingers on, and their life will continue, and this too shall pass, as my mom always said to me. Let her know that, let the whole family know that even though the shell there and the spirit is still lingering on, that she's smiling on today, and that God is continuously blessing her and blessing her family. Let everybody know that love is love, and everybody needs to come together as one at this tumultuous time, because even though the shell is there, the spirit lingers on, the pain is there as well. In Jesus Christ our Lord, amen.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, my dude. I appreciate it.
You know, so just be go there, do what you gotta do, be there for the family, man. I'll be praying for everybody while you're there. You know, I'm here for you, man. I'm here for the family.
Well, everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to.
Oh, well, we know that.
Today and going forward. It may not work out the way I wanted to, but it will work out the way it's supposed to. Let me let y'all know. All right, so tomorrow night, y'all know is the music show. So y'all know we come on at 1:00 on Fridays. So I do have a topic already. I have a topic ready to go. So tomorrow night on the music show, the Daily Go Getimism show, we are going to be talking about 20 or 30 years in the game and still going strong. So we're going to talk about artists who have been actively in the music game for 20 or 30 years and are still relevant, still recording, still selling records, still producing, still getting money, still well known, still appreciated, still getting booked, still doing their thing. Because it ain't that easy. So, yeah. Now, let me ask you a quick question, Troy.
Yeah.
If you was a one-hit wonder, right?
Right.
But you still get booked because of that one hit 30, 40 years later. God damn it. Bitch. Can you say that you've been in the game for 20 or 30 years? I was thinking about this shit, right? I was like, wait a minute. Can you? You had a hit in 87, but you get booked to do that hit today. You rob bass. You gonna get booked to do that It Takes Two shit. Can you say that you've been in the game for 20 or 30 years?
Well, I mean, Rob had more hits, but that was the biggest hit. I'm gonna give you one though. The one that sing, "You Gotta Show Me Love." If you want it, you gotta show me love. One hit wonder.
Okay.
And she carried that one hit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And my thing is that you can't say that I don't know of any other hit she had after that.
Okay.
But considering the genre that music goes to, which is the alphabet people, LGBTQ, it carries her. So even though she got that one hit is in a community that loves that one hit. But there's some people that got one hit that you be like, how you can't call that person a legend because of that one hit.
No, but this ain't even got nothing to do with legendary status. All I'm saying is, if you had a big hit back in the day, 20, 30, 40 years ago, and even though you didn't have no other hits, you may not have even been working, but you still get booked in 2025 to come back and do your hit.
That one hit is major. That one, I gotta be real. That one hit is major, bro. He carries, man.
All I'm saying is, are they eligible to say that they've been in the game for 20 or 30 years? That's all I'm asking.
I think so, son.
Okay, so. That's all. Because they might argue that they've been doing.
Wrapping my head around it. Yeah.
Needless to say, we're gonna go deeper into this tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
I know we are.
But I just wanted to give you a little taste of the bass. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a hard thing to grasp onto. But if it's a deep ass damn song.
Say, yo, do you remember when we went out, when we did this show? Of course you remember when we went out Allentown, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the R&B act that was supposed to be scheduled to do the show too?
Who was the R&B act?
He kept talking about Jocelyn Brown. Jocelyn Brown. She had a hit. I can't get off my high horse and I'm hooked on you. You are the one that make me feel so real.
And you know the funny thing about that, son? I still don't. Because what am I supposed to do when I'm so hooked on you that I realize it's somebody else's guy?
Now, I saw a video of her earlier today, and she was talking about what a monster hit that was and how she didn't get no money. She said she ain't make no money, but she said that song was such a big song because it could relate. So many women could relate to it at the time. And I got to thinking, like, you know what? They did play the song. You know what I mean? Like, it was a big dance hit. You know what I mean?
But see, you also got to realize something like that's another thing, another song that can go to the LGBTQ community. You realize I want you somebody else's guy.
I want you to get some rest tonight. That's what I want you to do. I want you to get some rest.
Oh no, I'm up right now, man. I had my rest and I woke up specifically for the show. But then when you said that I forgot that that you wasn't going to do the show the whole night. So it was like, I'm gonna be up for about another hour or two.
All right,
another hour or two. But like I said, in the midst of you leaving out, man. If you want to call me and holler at me, bro.
Man, I'm going. After I do these birthday shout-outs, I'm turning off this camera. I'm going to bed. You know what I'm saying? Ain't going to be a whole lot. I ain't fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
All right, boy. Well, just do what you got to do. Call me if you need me. Traveling mercies to you, bro. And I love you, man.
All right, man. And good looking out. I'll holler at you later.
All right.
All right, y'all, we about to do these birthday shout-outs. We have some birthday shout-outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious Glorious, glorious. November 13th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are. Because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Nicole Yvette, and also Lynn B.G. Brown and that B. Bricks McIntyre. No relation, but what up, cuz? What's good? And also Marcella Blackman, Bryant Shabazz Lewis, and last but not least, Aziza Streeter. She's raising money for fundraiser for Hustling Under Guide Supervision. Ooh. I'm going to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious November 13th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on to the damn, to rock out. Rock on to do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, hey yo, hey yo, yo, hey yo, hey yo. Well, I want to say this. You never really know what a person is going through. Everybody has their personal struggles, just like everybody has their personal demons. And we all have some things that we have to work out. And sometimes it takes us longer to get up out of our funk than it may take somebody else. So we can't always rush somebody to be as great as we know that they can be, because they may not be as good as they know that they can be at that time. They may be a mere shell of themselves for that particular time. And sometimes, because we know, we may have ironclad proof that they can do a little bit better than they are doing, we might have to move on them a little bit, or at least cattle prod them a little bit. Look, yo, gotta give you a little cattle pride. Personally, this is a situation that I encounter at my job. What I would like to do, I went to HR to try to apply for the use of a pitchfork. I just want to be able to, pitchfork my employees a little bit. Like whenever I see them lacking, or out of their assigned work area, or on a unauthorized break, I just want to be able to, sneak up behind them and, give them a little pitchforking. Maybe even a cattle prod. They wouldn't approve it, but they said they would take it into consideration. I'm still working there, so I guess we all right. Let's do the results of the poll, and then we're gonna slide on up out of here, y'all. All right. So the poll question was, what would you do if someone tried to play helpless when you knew that they could work or help out? Well, 32% of y'all said try to find why they're doing that. In other words, try to find out if they really are faking or not. 42% says tell them to get up off of their ass. Like, I'm not playing with you. Better have a job by Monday. I tell you that. 5% says give them small things to do. Now, maybe y'all didn't understand what I meant by that. See, I didn't have enough characters. What I meant by give them small things to do is because when you give somebody who's supposed to be handicapped, disabled, unable, You give them little small things to do to see if they can do them. You give them small things to do long enough, you know that they can do more than what they say that they can do. So it's a way for you to find out where their level may be without being too aggressive. 21% says kick them out or give them an ultimatum. Like, listen, you're going to get up off your ass today, or you're going to have to find yourself another place to stay, because this is my way or the highway. I don't care if this your life day, your die day, saw day, shaw day. You getting up out of this motherfucking car way. All right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 1 a.m. 1 a.m. tomorrow night, y'all. Don't forget, 1 a.m. tomorrow night. And we'll be back tall in the saddle. I'm going to go wash my nose out so I can get these allergies up off me. Y'all have a good night, man. Peace. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Holla, y'all. Peace.